Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Christian Moe. This week we are in a 2015 Mercedes-Benz Mullet. Now it's actually called the Sprinter 2500 Passenger, but the fact that I called it a mullet will make more sense in a minute.
The 2015 Mercedes-Benz 2500 Sprinter passenger van is exactly what you would expect. It is a huge slab of unassuming metal with some large windows that serve double duty as exits if you roll the thing over. Visually, there is little about the exterior that is worth note aside from the giant Mercedes-Benz three-pointed star on the nose. This truck rides very high and features wheels that look far too small for the rest of the machine. For passenger access, there is only a single sliding door on the passenger side, but it is very large and allows easy entry to the rear seats. The rear of the van also features standard barn doors that can swing open as much as 270 degrees, so you can load things in and out of the back easily. Otherwise, well, it's just a big van.
Alright, so the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 2500 Passenger is basically a FedEx truck that's been modified into a passenger van. Or I guess a FedEx truck is a passenger van that's been modified into a shuttle bus. But either way, what this is Mercedes' big truck division. This is a Sprinter van, so humongous, giganto van with a big diesel engine up front. And it's made to move as much stuff as possible with basically zero regard to anything else. This is a through and through work machine. I am sitting up on a humongous frame that rides what looks to be like 9 feet off the ground, as you saw in the visual overlook. Truck rides extremely high. I'm on light truck tires. It's rear wheel drive. This is basically a big pickup truck with a huge van attached to it. And it's made to haul lots of people. So this one here is the smallest one they sell. It is the standard wheelbase, which is like 144 inches with a standard height roof. They sell an extended wheelbase version of this for even more room in the back for cargo. And then they sell an extended height version of this so really tall people can stand up, I guess, because I can almost stand up inside of here as it is now. So yes, this is the Mercedes Sprinter Van 2500. Underneath the hood, I've got a 3-liter BlueTech V6 pumping out 188 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. This is the upgraded engine. This does come with a 4-cylinder standard. And then I also get an upgraded, apparently, 5-speed auto. If you get the 4-cylinder, you get Mercedes' fancy 7-speed dual-clutch. This does not have that. I have a standard 5-speed auto mated to my big V6 up front. It is turbocharged, so that's why I get all that torque. And as you would expect, it's kind of slow. I mean, I understand trying to give driving impressions of an airport shuttle bus is silly, because it is. But it's fun, so hell, why not? So driving this thing is awful. You turn the wheel and the whole cab just feels like it wants to fall over. I do have some fancy safety tech in here to keep that from happening. Mercedes-Benz offers all kinds of things on this. There's blind spot warning, there's crosswind helper, there's a fancy traction control system that alters the traction control based on how loaded it is and where the weight balance is to help keep the thing from rolling over. So, I mean, there's some pretty cool safety stuff in here, Some pretty cool safety stuff in here, but overall it is just a big van. I've got one seat here with a nice handy adjustable armrest. I've got another seat here with a nice handy adjustable armrest. And then in the back I've got 3 rows of seats that fit 3 people, and 4 people. If you do all the math for all those seats, the total comes up to 12, including the driver. So this is an 11-passenger van. It's sort of kind of fun to have people in, bounce around, jostle, and go somewhere. And that's sort of where the idea of a mullet comes from. Business in the front, party in the back. And I say that because first and foremost, this is a work machine. And up front, it is very much a work machine. I have black rubber steering wheel, black plastic dash with more black plastic and black plastic trim. And then I've got big gray plastic doors. I've got slightly shiny gray plastic trim. It's just a big, boring slab of gray plastic everywhere, but it's functional. It's easy to clean. And then I've got up here a big tray that is long enough to hold a clipboard full of papers. And in front of my steering wheel, I have more cubbies. and a cup holder. Over there I've got a huge cubby and a cup holder, and I have a gigantic glove box, and I have a cubby here, and I have huge door pockets with more cup holders, and then I have an extendable door pocket cup holder thing in the center of the dash, and then there's a huge tray underneath the passenger seat that holds stuff. Like, there are places to put things everywhere inside of this cabin, which is something that you want and need in a work machine. So it's definitely business up front. Oh yeah, I have humongous sun visors, and above those sun visors is a big, huge cargo area on both sides. And then I have another little tray up here on top of that. So it is, it's a big practical thing. In the dash, you get 2 gauges, speed and tact. That's it. They're simple, analog, black gauges with white faces and little plastic needles. Ugh, excuse me. The only thing nice I have going on is here in the center dash, I have a nice little upgraded MB Tech unit. So I have satellite navigation, Bluetooth, it will do Bluetooth audio, no CD player, no satellite radio, but it does have nav and Bluetooth. I do have a dual zone climate control system. I have a big knob up here for the front for me, and then I have a secondary air conditioning unit that's built up on top of the roof that handles the rear of the cabin, and it has its entirely own controls, so that you can cool something this big without overworking the main system attached to the engine. So that's sort of nice. And like I said, that's where the party in the back comes from, because you could put 10 of your friends back there. And I decided that it would be fun to do that. So what we did is we went up into the Smoky Mountains to Gatlinburg, and we did a moonshine tasting tour. So I called up some friends. I said, hey, let's go to the mountains and do drinking all day, then we'll eat dinner, and then we'll come home. And they said it sounds like a great idea. And so I loaded up 6 of them in the back, and we had a good time. So while this is a very practical thing for maybe a church that wants a new church bus, or like I said, it's definitely a great option for an airport shuttle, where I found the most fun with this thing is actually just enjoying time with friends. So we loaded everybody up in here. We had a phone synced by a Bluetooth to the stereo. We were just playing jukebox and just picking songs and having a good time. And everybody just enjoyed the trip. It turned even just a short hour-long trip into the mountains into this huge fun sort of road trip. And it was just a blast for everyone involved. I loved driving. Everyone loved being in the back. We were playing games. We were hooting and hollering. We were just yelling and shouting. It was just, we just had a little party, basically. And so that's where the idea came to me that this truck is basically a mullet. Again, that whole silly idea of business in the front, party in the back. This is a machine that is very business focused. It's very work focused up front. But if you want to, you can turn it into just a huge little party wagon and have a great time anywhere and everywhere you go. And if you want more or less space for people, or you want more or less space for cargo, you can do that as well. Now the seats in the back look insanely uncomfortable. They are fixed back units. They don't fold flat. And they're all a single piece. So if you want to pull one of those seats out, there are 2 big levers attached to the base of the seats on their metal stands. You have to pull the one latch by the door, crawl through, and pull the latch on the floor on the driver's side. Then you have to pick the entire unit up as a whole piece to pull it out and remove it. So I've not been able to take the seats out because I have an injured hand still, and I can't pick the dang things up to pull them out. So they are big, and they are heavy, and again, they don't fold. Thankfully, the side door is massive, so it's a bit easier to get them out. But you can pull all 3 rows of seats out, and then you have the world's largest cargo van. Or you can pull just 2 rows out, have space in the back for like camping gear. Like, that's one thing I thought about. They sell this in a 4-wheel drive version. And I thought, heck, load up 7 or 8 friends, have the entire area in the back, plus the area where the back seat was, load it full of coolers and camping gear, and just wander out in the wilderness and spend a week and a half camping and having a great time. Or you can strip all the seats out and turn it into a camper. Or if you felt really crazy, you could strip out all the seats, put some sofas in it, take it to a drive-in. Back doors open all the way up and swing out and attach back to the side, so like a 270-degree opening door. So you can swing those all the way up and have a couch in the back and just go to the drive-in movies and have a great time. Like, This is the most obnoxiously practical thing I've ever been in the entire world. It's hilarious. Now, of course, you still have all that it's a work truck thing. So the interior, like I said, is cheap and just it's just garbage. It is cheap work truck garbage. All of the doors, all of them rattle. Everything squeaks. Everything like clicks and clacks and makes noises everywhere I go. Like, it feels like a big FedEx truck, which again, it is just a big FedEx truck. So if you are for some reason looking into something like this, keep that in mind. It may say Mercedes on the steering wheel, it may say Mercedes on the nose, it may even say Mercedes on the navigation system. This is a FedEx box truck. That's it. If you want a really nice, comfortable, luxurious version of this, I'm sure, I guarantee there are lots of companies out there that will make those. This standard version from Mercedes that is just the Sprinter 2500 passenger is not nice or really comfortable or very luxurious. I've got rubber floors that you can sweep and hose out. I have plastic everywhere and big rattly hollow doors. That's what it is. But for what it is, I've had a hell of a time with it. Fuel economy, I've not been able to measure because there is no fuel economy gauge in the dash, and this thing has like a 24.5 gallon tank, and I don't really want to pay to fill that thing up just to get a fuel economy number. I have tried to do some rough calculations based on how many miles I got to go before I started to get to empty, and it looks like I'm getting 18 to 20 miles to the gallon, so pretty good for something that this ginormous, but still not impressive. And again, that's just a really rough number, so your mileage may definitely vary. Price-wise, this one with the few options that I have, because I've got the upgraded engine and I've got the navigation system and that sort of stuff. Price-wise, this is $50,433 after destination, which is actually not bad. That's cheaper than a lot of decent-sized SUVs. Granted, those are real cars with sound deadening and insulation and stuff, so you have to take that into account. But for what it is, this is cheaper than I expected it to be, especially again because it says Mercedes on the nose and I've got that big upgraded V6 diesel. So overall, she's an okay machine. Really terrible to drive because it's a cargo van. Said really loud and kind of uncomfortable in here because it's a cargo van. But the air conditioner works great. The heater works great. It's fun to throw people in the back. And it's just a good practical machine that you can do anything you want to. You want to start a business and do scuba instruction? You can build a rack, store scuba tanks and all kinds of stuff in here. It's big enough you can stand up to change. You know, done. You want to have a church bus. You want to have an airport shuttle. You want to do anything like that? Done. Again, you want to have a great camping machine for your friends? Buy the four-wheel drive version. Go anywhere in the world you want to. Have fun. Like, that's basically the big general message of this. Buy it. Do stuff. Have fun. And I kind of dig that. Like, I really do. So, anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I am Christian Moe. This is, again, a review for AutoTalk.com. This has been the 2015 Mercedes-Benz 2500 Sprinter passenger van, 144-inch wheelbase, standard roof, or the Mercedes-Benz Mullet. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you like this review, go ahead and leave us a thumbs up. Tell us why you liked it in the comments below. If you hated this review, please let me know. Leave me a thumbs down, leave in the comments what the heck I need to do to make this thing better. We want these reviews to get better for you, and the only way we can do that is with feedback. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button. You know how that works. Thank you guys for hanging out and tuning in. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week with another car review. Cheers.